Hello, my name is Franklynn and I'm a student at the University of Windsor studying neuroscience. Now, here in Canada, we really like our maple syrup. And usually when you think of maple syrup, you think of it as a topping on pancakes, but you can actually use it in cooking quite often. I've had maple glazed salmon, which is really good. The sweetness complements the fish flavor, and you can also put maple syrup on top of some plain yogurt to sweeten it up and give it some flavor. But today I'll show you how to jazz up your salad with a maple syrup dressing, and we'll complement the sweet maple flavor with a sharper taste of Dijon mustard in the dressing. Now, this recipe will make about 4 servings. First, we'll start with the dressing. Now for our maple syrup, we'll use 1 tablespoon, and this is enough to give it that nice maple flavor without too many calories because it makes 4 servings, so you're dividing that sugar up between all of you. Maple syrup is a really good source of calcium, iron, potassium, and thiamine, so it's a good substitute for sugar because you're also adding in vitamins. So I'm going to put all my dressing ingredients into a plastic container that has a lid, so that when we're done we can put the lid on tightly and shake it all up so it mixes well and we don't make a mess. So next, I have 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now this is a good substitute for other types of fat like butter and shortening in your cooking because olive oil helps lower bad cholesterols and helps lower your heart rate. So it's a really heart healthy type of fat. Now I'm supposed to put in 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, but I went to my cupboard today and realized I'd forgotten to buy it at the grocery store. But I looked this up on the internet and I found out that lemon juice has the same level of acidity as balsamic vinegar. So if you happen to have lemon juice around, you can substitute 1 tablespoon of lemon juice for 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. So whichever ingredient is cheaper and whichever one you have, you can use. So now we're adding that sharp taste of the Dijon mustard that I talked about, and 1 tablespoon is just enough. Now once you have all your ingredients in, you just want to snap that lid on really tight, so you don't want dressing going everywhere, and just shake it up really, really well. Now once you shake it up, you can have a little taste and decide if you want to add any salt or pepper in there. Now I'm not a huge salt pepper fan, so I don't, but it's all about your taste. Just don't add too much salt because that's not too good for your heart. Alright, so our dressing's all ready. Now let's make the salad. Now first I have 2 different types of fruit. I have 1 diced up apple and 1 diced up pear. Now when it comes to fruit, you can use whichever kind of fruit you like. So with the apple, any type of apple is okay. If you like red delicious, that's okay. My favorite is jazz apples because they're not too sweet, so I find that it goes really nicely with the maple flavor. I'm going to put that in the bowl. Again, I'm using a really large plastic bowl with a tight lid so that I can mix up all the ingredients really easily. I used a Bartlett pear because they stay nice and crisp, whereas if you use a mushier pear, it might not go very well with the salad. So this is easier to dice up. Now, I always dice up my salad ingredients into really small bite-sized pieces because I hate it when I'm eating a salad and I stick my fork in and I come out with half a tomato, and then how do I eat that without making a mess, right? So I use really bite-sized ingredients. Next, we have some vegetables. I chose half a stalk of celery and half a cucumber. These are nice, light, watery vegetables, and that's why I chose them because we have fruit in this dish, so I didn't want anything too sharp. I'm gonna add those in. Again, I dice them up really small so that they're bite-sized. Now, I love to add nuts to salads because this is a good source of protein. So here I have about a 1/4 cup or a little less of walnut pieces. I'm just gonna drizzle those on top. All right, now these ingredients are together. I'm just gonna put the lid on, mix it around a little bit, and then we're gonna add our dressing. Pour it around nice and evenly, and then again, you can put our lid on and make sure that the dressing is covering all of the ingredients really well. Right, now when you're all done, you have a really beautiful, colorful salad here, and you have fruit, you have vegetables, you have nuts. So now I think we need a source of calcium, so I'm going to drizzle a little bit of cheese on top. Now I chose feta cheese because it's a nice light cheese. It's lighter in fat than some of the other cheeses out there. You can also buy light kinds of feta at the grocery store, so you can look for that and make sure you reduce the fat. So I just sprinkle on as much as you want. I used about 1/8 of a cup. You don't need too much because it's a really strong flavor. I also love to add a little handful of dried fruit, dried unsweetened fruit, because we have a lot of sugar here already. And I think that cranberries are really good for this recipe because they have that sharp kind of sour taste, so it complements the sweetness really nicely. And now when you're done, you have a really beautiful, colorful salad, and this looks really impressive if you want to serve it to a dinner party of about 4 people or so. This might even feed 5 because we had some larger fruit here. So if you want to just have it for yourself even, have a little bit and then snap your lid back on and put it in the fridge overnight. You can bring it to school the next day. Take a little bit out in a smaller container and it'll keep really well and be a nice snack when you're at school, you're studying, and you need a little bit of a boost. So good luck, and I hope you have fun making your salad.